Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Shoot, Edit, Post. I'm your host, Mikayla, joined by my husband.
Denzel.
And today we are talking about quantity and quality. But before we do that,
hmm
what have we been working on individually?
Well, I think you've been working on a lot more than I have in terms of like your brand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of. I mean, I edit all the time. I edit. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast specifically, but I edit full time as a documentary feature film editor. So I'm in a we finished the first film, so that film actually comes out. Will probably be out by the time this episode comes out. Oh, pre-production stuff. Working with one of my friends who's working on the series that I'm getting ready to. We're getting ready to shoot a pilot for a series that we're doing,
Yep.
and we're in pre-production right now. Well, the script's done, but we're just doing some finalization of things, so we'll be shooting that in the next couple of months. So got a lot of stuff happening. It's not a
Yeah.
lot has been out put up
Yeah.
yet.
It's like a lot of like pre-work and like
Yeah, yeah.
getting to the stuff being published and everything. So
Right.
that's cool.
Yeah. How about you?
Uh, I guess since our last recording of the podcast unintentionally started a video editing
Oh,
company.
that yeah, you weren't doing that in the last episode. That's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
it's so weird. So I thought like maybe I was like, you know what? I like editing. Let me just offer my services. I tried to make an Fiverr account and then I ended up posting it on Threads and that's history.
It blew up.
It
Just
literally took
like
off.
I remember, like I guess within the first 24 hours, you had already started booking
Yeah.
multiple long-term like retainer people
Yeah.
keep coming back
Right.
each month. So you got monthly income coming in from that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's definitely crazy.
Yeah.
But also in the process of um I guess not rebranding myself, but just like kind of like honing in on what I do for my content creation. Still cozy related, everything. Everything's always going to be cozy. But just like what I talk about and then like figuring out content plan and everything and just trying to see what works best for that. But I have goals and things that I'm trying to reach.
Yeah.
But also, speaking of rebrand, even though I'm not rebranding, we've rebranded this
Yeah.
look of podcast, and if you're watching it on YouTube, we actually have 7 other episodes
hmm
that are on
My channel.
his old channel.
Yeah.
And it'll be linked in a playlist or something
Yeah, we'll have
here.
a playlist on this channel that links back to those old episodes.
Yeah.
You also can listen to those episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But yeah, so for our audio listeners for Spotify or Apple, if you wanted to come over to the YouTube channel, we have a dedicated YouTube channel now, like
Yeah.
Mikayla said. So
Yep. And you can subscribe even if you don't.
definitely subscribe because I'm planning on doing other content for us outside of the podcast. Like Mikayla handles the editing and
Mm-hmm.
posting of the podcast, but I wanted to start doing some like, shorts and tips, little, tip videos, things that didn't really work on my channel anymore that I didn't really want to do over there. I would kind of start bringing here. So you will get some, I'd say, exclusive content on the YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
doesn't hurt to check it out.
For sure. Why are we talking about this topic today? Why did we decide to talk about quantity over quality?
Well, it's the age old question. That and niching, I feel like are the two biggest things that people talk about when it comes to content creation.
Yeah.
Other than making money, it's like, should you do quality content, quantity? I just need to post a bunch. The
Yeah.
algorithm likes that, so it's one of those things where it's like, what does that even mean? Because we had a whole conversation. We were planning for this, and I was like, what does that even mean? Quantity versus quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love the definition or the way that the breakdown you came up with it. I think is the best description I've ever heard of it. To me, quality can be uh, Hollywood blockbuster,
Mm-hmm.
feature film level, high end Christopher Nolan style movie is
Yeah.
it's quality.
Mhm.
But that's not necessarily quality for everybody on YouTube. Just because someone's video doesn't look like that doesn't mean it's not quality.
Yeah.
So so
Right.
it's like, what does quality even mean?
Yeah. So do you think that you would focus more on quality over quantity, or do you think it's like a mix of both?
For me personally,
Yeah.
I would say quality now.
Yeah.
And it's the reason for that was two reasons. I'm realizing because I was trying to go the quantity route, and I've kind of shifted with my content on YouTube where I was like, all right, get editing videos out.
Mhm.
Then I was doing it in a way where it's like what I would still call quality for editing tutorials because I was like making them very produced and very edited.
Yeah.
I was shooting them very like I would take a lot of time to shoot on a green screen so that way I could like key myself out
Oh yeah.
and put myself on the DaVinci Resolve timeline and all this stuff like which is my standard. Like I want myself to look super good,
Yeah.
but it takes so much time. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like for that type of video and that type of audience, I think that to me it seems like it's better when you do a lot um of content. And I
Mhm.
couldn't keep that workflow up.
Yeah.
And then also having a full-time editing job working for a production
Yeah.
company, I don't have the time. So to do a whole lot. So for me, I'm like, all right, let me do quality because I can take my time
Mhm.
and do the stuff I actually want to do and don't have to worry about getting like a lot of content out.
I feel like I'm also more of a quality person more than quantity, which I guess like we'll go into the like our definitions of these, but to me, which I was telling him when we were planning was quality is half of the aesthetics and look, and the other half is the value that you bring to your videos,
Mm-hmm.
to your content.
Yeah.
So there's people that just use their literal front camera of their phone and can tell a funny joke, but they have millions of subscribers or millions of followers on TikTok or Instagram, but it's because they're funny and they're bringing those jokes to the table.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that they were like half lit or they're laying in bed with a bonnet on where
Mm.
this other person is getting up and putting a full face of makeup on. There's just all these different attributes
Yeah.
to quality than it just being like the aesthetics of a
Right.
video. For me, I think that I kind of was on the like high quality
Mm.
part.
Yeah.
Like when I was doing I'll say my podcast, I was using the Fuji, I was setting up the light, I was doing all these things, but I realized that I valued putting more time into the quality of my what's going to be in the video. So I just started like opening the blinds and setting up my Sony that doesn't require like a camera and
You mean lens?
yeah, it doesn't require a lens to like be put on and it autofocuses the way that I want it to and like the Fuji definitely looks better. It
Mm-hmm.
does, but it takes up more of my time to like set up
Right.
everything
Yeah.
versus like me actually just like pouring into the content that I'm putting into. So it still looks good. The Sony's a good camera, but um there's definitely like levels.
Yeah. So and then that's the thing too. There's like for definitely levels. I think it does break down to quality splits into like visual production value, aesthetics, and then like you said, information, content, like
Mhm.
what the meat of the video is.
Right.
And I think that's like even if you're going to do quantity, you got to at least have that 50% quality
Yes.
being that information and
Mhm.
what's in the video,
Yeah.
which is very important. So it's not about the video just looking really good. And that doesn't mean that, oh, this video looks super high quality, super top tier. So that just means this video is perfect because it could look really, really great,
Yeah.
but it might not have any substance.
Right.
It may not compare to Christopher Nolan level movies or
Mhm.
Zack Snyder or whoever. Pick a, we're on YouTube, so let me pick some influencers. iJustine or
Mhm.
uh, Mr. Beast. I'm trying to think of who people
Yeah.
watch.
I mean, it doesn't have to look like
Yeah.
like them. And then even sometimes like the person's um I guess like preference might not be like there's some people that do things and I'm like I do not like how that looks, but they have the nice camera, they have the lights, they have everything. So it really is just like also it comes down to like personal preference of your audience,
That's
but
another big part of it too.
yeah.
I think that your audience will also dictate how much quality you need.
Mhm.
Like tech reviewers to a degree, and like filmmaker content or gear review kind of stuff like that. I think you have to be, for the most part, you have to have really good looking visuals. You can't
Yeah.
really cheap out on that.
Yeah.
Might be able to simplify, but you can't. It has to look good to a certain degree.
Yeah. I was gonna say I feel like if I was looking up like some type of like if somebody was like, "Oh, let me review this camera," and then it's like blurry and shaky and all this stuff, I'm like,
Like
"Okay, well, I'm gonna click out."
right, because you
So,
see that.
yeah, you want to see the clean image, you want to see the quality of the camera.
What would you say about quantity? Like, what does quantity mean for you?
I think it means just like a lot. But then when you really think about it, your quantity can be just like I think when we think about it in terms of content creation, we think a lot, but I think it can also be personal to you. So, like for me, I could be like, okay, I'm posting a lot because I'm posting 4 times a week.
Right.
Or somebody else can be like, I'm posting a lot because I'm posting 4 times a day.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, again, up to the person. But at the same time, I think that when you're focusing on how much you can do over the quality that you're putting into your videos,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be like, it's not going to help. It's just, it's going to be kind of like, almost like, not to be rude, but like, what's the point?
Okay.
When you are not putting value into your videos, even when you're just trying to post a lot, because I think that mindset comes from I'm trying to go viral, I'm trying to make money,
Yeah.
so let me just post anything and everything, and I'm going to do every trend and all these things, but you're not really putting value behind your content.
You know, another thing I think that goes into it, like for sure, the audience I think definitely dictates it. If you're
Hmm.
in a niche that requires you to post a lot,
Yeah.
like if you post once a month, that's probably not going to be enough in like a tutorial. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but depending on what it is, it's probably going to be enough. But it actually it also could be. It just depends on what type of thing you're doing. So you kind of have to just like know your niche, what your audience, like you said, wants.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that can dictate whether you can even do quantity is how long it takes you to edit your videos.
Hmm.
Like that's another aspect of it. Like we talked about the cameras and the lighting, but another aspect I think is of that production value is editing. Do I have time to do any type of cuts? Like no. Well, maybe I need to be a live streamer.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and that you can build your audience that way. And was like, okay, my content is, or like on Instagram, maybe I just go live.
Yeah.
Will that be enough? Instagram, I have no clue if that would work. Maybe TikTok it would.
Yeah.
Just going live. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like you kind
Yeah.
of like realize what you can do. So to me, quantity it really depends on how much you can get out. And then once you determine like I I want to post every day, then that will tell you what you can do.
Yeah.
And then if you say, all right, I want to post weekly, then okay, weekly I can get this much done.
Hmm.
Or if I want to post monthly, then I can do that. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like you just kind of work backwards from how often you want to post, and
Yeah.
that determines how much time you have to put into a video.
Yeah. When you said that, it kind of like sparked a thought, but like I feel like with quantity, I mean, sorry, with quality, you almost post less because you're wanting that high level production value.
Yeah.
Like there's people that we watch on YouTube and they always talk about how they record a bunch of content in like one day because they're at the studio, they
Yeah.
have the production value, so they're having to take that day to just record like a bunch of content. I feel like if you're a type of person that can do that, I think that being a content creator, there's always some type of time sacrifice. You're going to have to put aside time that you'd be wanting to do something else
Right.
to record or edit or hire an editor or whatever.
Yeah. Link
It's
in the
just a
bio.
little
Little
plug
plug.
to do stuff with. So, um yeah, I feel like quality, like you said, it has to be at least 50% of your video.
They go together.
Yeah.
It's like you have to determine. It's going to come back to the whole niche thing, which is funny. But yeah, the quality versus quantity thing is interesting. I think that's why I've been like not struggling with it, but like, okay, what does that mean? It is a versus, but then it kind of isn't. You have to. They kind of work together in a
Yeah,
way
they do.
because it's like I guess if you go far, you can go far enough to the quality side that you just know, yeah, I'm not gonna post daily.
Yeah.
You probably can go far enough in that direction where it's like you have so much quality in your video, you're not gonna be able to do daily.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like there's like tiers of quality.
Hmm.
Um, so coming from a content creator who has like a filmmaker background like me, so if I'm doing more narrative based content and I know I want to do like short films, I would say, okay, all right, let's say I want to do narrative based content. Do I want to do funny TikTok video style where people just like have their phone
Hmm.
up and they're playing, the one person's playing multiple characters back and forth,
Yeah.
just that two
Oh, yeah.
shots. A lot of people do that and are very successful.
Yeah.
Do I want to do that?
Right.
I could do that, but is that the type of creator that I am?
Yeah.
Now, if I only care about views and getting viral
Yeah.
and building quickly because I know I can get a lot of content out,
Yeah.
then sure, that might be the only way I go. Or I could go the far extreme and say, no, I want to be a filmmaker and
Yeah.
my goal is to make feature length films.
Hmm.
So I'm going to make hour-long YouTube videos, but these hour-long YouTube videos are actually like a film that you can
Yeah.
go sit down in the movie theater or go on Netflix to
Yeah.
watch. Is that level of quality?
Right.
So I'd be putting uh that type of ranking on it. Now, if I do that tomorrow, well, I see the same overnight, let's say overnight success. Somebody might grow. Let me finish my thought here. Somebody doing the shorter content could possibly grow faster, but I will say that if I could build, it might take me longer, is what I'm getting at. It might not. You do one, it might just blow up overnight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it could be it could be so good
Yeah.
that a lot of people are watching it. But I think the concern that a lot of people have is that they want to grow and grow quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's the best way to go if you're trying to grow quickly, to go full
Yeah.
100% quality.
Yeah.
You might want to start on a lower end and then work your way up to that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's definitely ways to grow quickly and still have quality to your videos. Because I think you told me somebody that you watched like got monetized on YouTube in like 6 months or something, but she was just grinding and like posting a lot of things, but she has very valuable content
Yeah.
for a lot of content creators. So that's probably how she grew because there is a market and a niche for that
Yeah.
specific thing. So if you're wanting to grow quickly, then I would say do that. Do it that way, making sure that you have the content of the quality in your quantity videos. However, as um as a creator who's like growing slowly, I've realized the, I guess, beauty in that
Yeah.
because I'm able to connect with a lot of the people that
Yeah.
come in.
Mhm.
Like I don't just have these random like followers that I don't know follow me.
Yeah.
I like can kind of see, oh, these people are like coming in and these people are commenting and I'm now like connecting with people that are like in my niche, and I think that that is a really big part of being a good quality content creator
Yeah.
is like knowing who you're talking to and actually talking to people. I honestly, it's one of my pet peeves when creators don't respond to comments because I'm like, you literally just posted this and said peace out and you don't want to build a community.
Mm.
And I know there's some creators that like have millions and millions of followers and comments and you can't get to all of them. But to me, I'm like, you're missing a huge part of the quality of your content
Mm.
and what's going to keep people coming around because they actually feel like they get to know you and can
Right.
talk to you and ask you questions, and you'll be able to respond.
Yeah. I realized that even when the video may not look the greatest, like ever, even with narrative stuff in comedy, if the story's there,
Yeah.
that always overrides. I've seen it so many times in
Yeah.
my personal journey as a creator and filmmaker, and I've been doing video production for 18 years of my life.
Mhm.
So even when the things I did weren't the best, like people always say, "Oh, I love the story." So I
Yeah.
would make good stories.
Mhm.
I've won awards doing short film competitions and things like
Yeah.
that. And I didn't have good lighting back in the day. I didn't have the greatest cameras, but I would have the stories
Yeah.
that was me and my brother when we did it together. We were telling where keep people engaged. I know that not every form of content that people are going to be doing is storytelling or narrative, but still you should have that viewpoint
Yeah.
of like, let me make sure the what I'm communicating, because it's still words, you
Mhm.
know, you're still telling a story to some degree,
Yeah.
even when you're not telling a narrative story. You're communicating, and you want
Mhm.
to make sure that that's effective, and that you're connecting with people and giving them some what they came looking for. You want them to make sure that they leave
Yeah.
with it,
With that information, yeah.
or that you've exceeded it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, for sure. So, I think I
don't
want
mind me. I'm just looking at my notes.
that's okay. We have notes now, y'all, so we can stay on track.
We're official.
However, we did not stay on track, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Better conversation sometimes. So, I want to talk about like some things that kind of work in 2025 because I don't want to say that quality doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Because it does have some, I guess, like some degree of importance to
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
content. Because like you don't want to be like, hey, I'm starting a podcast, and then be like 3 years later and you're only on your second episode.
Yeah.
So,
As far as quantity.
yeah, as far as quantity.
Yeah.
So, one of the things is like having trends within your content. Like
Okay.
doing trends within your content because it's relevant.
Mm.
Trends come and go so fast unless you're Kendrick Lamar. That has gone on for a long time. But like trends come and go really fast. But platforms prefer and push out creators that are consistent
Yeah.
and
For
that
sure.
are constantly putting things out. And I know for a fact Instagram and I think YouTube as well, but Instagram for sure like is like you need to post on these days at this time at these times, and it's different for everybody, so look at your algorithm.
Mm.
um
Based
but
on when your viewership is on.
yeah, like when it's on and things, and if you're not posting within those times, it's really hard to get over that hump.
Mm.
But the trends and stuff like help. But I think YouTube also, I think you may have told me, but it could have been something that I listened to, said that if you're it's looking to see if you're posting at the same time every time you post.
Mm.
So like if I post on 11 a.m. on a Wednesday, the next Wednesday am I posting at 11 a.m. So now it's saying, okay, she's consistent at posting every single Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
every single
Yeah.
week. So now we're going to start to push her stuff out. Your quantity of videos should be something that like is doable for you.
Right.
So if it's like you're going to post a YouTube video weekly or bi-weekly, like make sure that you're staying consistent. And then even on other platforms, like even if you can only post 2 times a week, post 2 times a week the same time.
Yeah.
Every single week. And that should be good. You should be good.
Yeah. Because you don't want to just post something and just like be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like even like if you're doing high end stuff, I think it is important to have some type of cadence. Um, I mean, I can't tell you how infrequently you can post. I mean, I guess everybody's different, but to
Mm-hmm.
me, I wouldn't go any less than once a month.
Yeah.
Like I would, and with the goal of being able to post at least twice.
Yeah.
But I would say like if you can do at least once a month, I would at
Yeah,
least do that because at least
right.
every month your viewers know they're going to get something from you.
Yeah.
And
I,
then go ahead.
I would say that too, because especially if you're trying to take content creation seriously,
Yeah.
like showing up once a month is like,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Because, like, for me, so for example, I'm going to use the short film route. This is an idea for any filmmakers or any content creators who do similar type of stuff. But let's say you did a super high end film, short film, whatever, web series you got going. You
Mm-hmm.
post that maybe the first of the month. Then you could roll out behind the scenes content,
Mm-hmm.
or you could lead up to it. You could have like a behind the scenes video 1 week. Maybe you do a live stream as like after party. Watch it with the director. Like we're gonna watch it
Yeah.
together, and you can kind of hear my thoughts on things, stuff like stuff like that. So it's like, or you could do shorts. Like I would cut up shorts from out that video for the post out the week, and anybody can do that. You can post
Yeah.
one video, and then the rest of the weeks you're just posting shorts from that video, as many clips as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Or like from this podcast, we can post 2 podcasts a month, and then the rest of the other off months could just be shorter versions of the
Off
podcast.
weeks.
Off weeks
Yeah.
could be shorter versions of the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And just getting people to go to the one, the
Link it
one
back
that
to the
has
main one.
all the substance. So
Yeah.
if I'm clipping this part right here
Mm-hmm.
and saying like, you're gonna post as many content videos as you want to,
Yeah.
and then it links back to the
To
video,
the main one. Yeah.
then people are going to be like, oh, well, how am I going to post a lot of content?
Right.
So you just kind of get people's attention with that, but it's still almost making your job a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
And another way to make your job easier, which I have a lot of experience with, is Chat GPT. I know I talk about it a lot, but I feel like as a busy content creator, if like you have a full-time job, or I don't know, you are a parent and you like just stay home and like have to deal with kids and stuff, like whatever it is, you have to set some type of time aside, but using ChatGPT can kind of help you get into the right lane.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like, oh, just copy everything it tells you to do, because if somebody else is looking for that, they're going to get the same script. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
It helps you set it up. You
yeah,
do that for like these podcast episodes.
yeah,
We'll talk. She'll be like, "Oh, here's some ideas," and then you'll put it into there. Like, "Hey,
yeah,
what's like a breakout or whatever?"
right,
We're not like copying it exactly. It's just like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point. We can just
yeah,
touch on that," because it's essentially just a search engine anyway.
exactly,
What it is
yeah.
to Google, so it just is. It's basically searching
It's doing your
for you.
fast research,
Yeah,
really fast
yeah.
research. So, yeah, but I think that's all I have on it. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, I think that last bit that I did there was my final thought, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, like, yeah, just use I think the biggest thing that I did think of one other thing, um, just try to find some way to be present
Mm-hmm.
with your audience. So I think do the thing that they expect to see from you, of course, but most of these apps have live. And if you don't feel comfortable going live, then you don't have to do that.
It's a live advocate over here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just think that, yeah, no, I haven't very much so, but I do see value in it. But especially with some of the live streamers, I don't ever go live on TikTok. I keep saying I'm going to do it, so maybe one day I will, but YouTube's the one I've gone live on the most. Just give the opportunity for people to see, oh, they're doing something. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just an easy way, even if you're just going to hop up there and hang out,
Yeah.
like we're hanging out. So I just think that it'll help.
Well, I feel like my final thought would be my original thought, which was just making sure that you have that 50% of quality, the
Mm,
content quality in your video, whether you're doing um quantity or you're just focusing on quality, because like even when you're doing lives or whatever, like even just hanging out is you're showing your personality, you're getting people to like who you are as a person. So go into that with that in mind.
mm,
Or if I'm going to go live to show you how to edit, or I'm going to go live to just like chat about being a cozy enthusiast, like whatever it is, like making sure that you have that quality, because that's what's bringing people back.
right.
It's not just about the views, even though that gets you the monetization and everything. But I feel like as a content creator, being a authentic content creator, because it is like, I mean, this is like getting so derailed, but being a content creator is a business, and businesses that don't have any quality don't do well, they fail. And so as a content creator, just making sure that you're not going to fail in your journey.
Cool.
So that's my 2 cents. um
Awesome. Oh, here's the dog.
it's time to go.
I'm
Every time I feel like we're
like,
almost
all
done.
right,
I
yeah,
know.
I'm done.
Um, so in the comments, let us know which way you lean, if you're more of quality or quantity, or if you think it should be both, like we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Um, our next episode will be how to make your videos look professional on a budget, which will be
Nice.
fun.
Yeah,
I think that'll be a cool episode.
for sure.
Um, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe,
Yeah.
rate the podcast, comment, do all the
Mm.
things, push all the buttons because you just want to.
If you subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Oh, the notification bell. That's one I always forget. But yeah.
It's an important one to hit because you can be subscribed to so many people.
Yeah.
And like I realize that all the time, like, oh, who's that person? I should have hit the notification
Yeah.
bell because now I don't know. I gotta go find them again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
that's it for this video. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
quality is half of the aesthetics and look, and the other half is the value that you bring to your videos,
Hmm.
to your content.
Yeah.
So there's people that just use their literal front camera of their phone and can tell a funny joke, but they have millions of subscribers or millions of followers on TikTok or Instagram, but it's because they're funny and they're bringing those jokes
Mhm.
to the table.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that they were like half lit or they're laying in bed with a bonnet on where this
Mm.
other person is getting up and putting a full face of makeup on. There's just all these different attributes
Yeah.
to quality than it just being like the aesthetics of a
Right.
video.
I realized that even when the video may not look the greatest, like ever, even with narrative stuff in comedy, if the story's there,
Yeah.
that always overrides. I've seen it so many times in
Yeah.
my personal journey as a creator and filmmaker, and I've been doing video production for 18 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So even when the things I did weren't the best, like people always say, "Oh, I love the story." So I
Yeah.
would make good stories.
Mm-hmm.
I've won awards doing short film competitions and things like
Yeah.
that. And I didn't have good lighting back in the day. I didn't have the greatest cameras, but I would have the stories
Yeah.
that was me and my brother when we did it together. We were telling where keep people engaged.